This is your host, Olivia Augustin. Welcome to the English for Engineers podcast, a podcast that takes a fresh perspective on technical English, business English, and international business communication. Join me as I explore the language of engineering and business and learn how to communicate with confidence and clarity. Whether you are a seasoned professional or just starting out, this podcast is for you. So sit back and relax, grab a cup of coffee, and let's dive into the world of English for Engineers. So when it comes to learning a new language, English is often touted or described as one of the most confusing and least straightforward languages to understand, to comprehend. And it is especially true for those learning how to leverage the English language in a professional setting, as technical terms across industry tend to vary dramatically. But when it comes to the construction industry, this is especially true, and it's making it difficult to feel confident in your vocabulary and technical English abilities in regard to job safety, measurements, techniques, equipments. But as a professional, you already know how important it is to communicate very, very clearly with your coworkers. And that's why I have put together my top tips for helping you master technical English with an engineering focus. Tip number 1. Master cultural differences. It's really important to recognize the cultural differences between English and almost every other language. It doesn't matter if you're from Europe, from South America, Asia, or anywhere else. There are a number of elements of the English language and workplace environment that might be shocking or difficult to master. A few examples include the emphasis on individuality across the English language. And that can show up in conversations as directness that can be perceived as rudeness or bluntness and can often feel jolting to people who are new to the language. So in addition, North American cultures unfortunately tend to prioritize work over rest, which can come through in conversations and discussions about scheduling, timelines, and other things. And being aware of these cultural differences can help you feel prepared as you enter conversations about various topics in the workplace. And it will enable you to feel comfortable approaching discussions that involve elements of cultural differences that your English-speaking colleagues may eventually not even be aware of. Tip number 2. Focus on key vocabulary. This tip works in 2 different ways. The first is by helping you feel prepared and confident as you enter a work environment that relies on a language you did not grow up using. So if English is your second language. The second way it works is that it will mean the difference between successful and unsuccessful communication at work. And there's nothing I want more than see you succeed. By identifying relevant vocabulary words and centering your language practice around that group of words, you can create confidence in your abilities to communicate, and at the same time you can master those key terms that will be used throughout day-to-day conversation. So this is a win-win because confidence is key when it comes to learning, practicing, and utilizing a new language. And in order to create your own list of key vocabulary, you'll want to do some research. Or you check in with a diligent technical language coach, c'est moi, to identify phrases and terms that align with your job responsibilities and that are relevant to your specific industry. And once you've created a master list for yourself, you want to focus on those words and practice them in order to familiarize yourself with those terms that will appear most commonly in communication at your workplace. My Emails for Engineers template package, by the way, is a great place to start and will give you optimal support to master business work emails. Tip number 3, don't be afraid to ask for help. This applies in 2 major ways. Firstly, it's important to remember that most people have patience and understanding when it comes to people brave enough to learn new languages and even apply them at work. Don't be afraid to let your colleagues know when you're struggling to find the right word, when you're struggling to keep up with a conversation, or when you're confused about what was decided at a meeting. And asking for help is a great way to continue building your skills, and you might even allow native speakers to adjust their communication style in order to help you thrive. Secondly, asking for help might look like working with a professional language coach to speed up the learning process and help you master business or technical English even faster. I'm a civil engineer and certified English as a second language teacher, and I strive to support my clients as they work towards a functional understanding and mastery of technical English in order to thrive specifically in the workplace. I know just how difficult it can be to put language skills to use in a professional business setting. And investing in a coach to strengthen your language journey can help you reach your goals and is one of the most effective ways to ask for help as you work towards mastering business English. Tip number 4, and you will love it. Watch content that helps you learn. So for many people, learning the English language, a popular method of practicing is to watch reality TV, sometimes called trash TV. This is helpful to learners because it gives you a good idea how English sounds and looks in casual, everyday conversations, including relationships, friendships, and so on. But as a professional seeking to master technical English and to use it in the workplace, trash TV might not be the best place to find inspiration of understanding of how English should be utilized, should be used. And it isn't likely to be professional, technical, or even appropriate. So instead of relying on reality TV, seek out media that aligns with your role or your goals. I'm including a list of the 15 best TV shows for engineers in the podcast description. And that list includes titles like How It's Made, Mythbusters, Sherlock, Mega Factories, and more. And by watching shows like this, you can get a better idea of what conversation sounds like between professionals when discussing things like construction, results, data, and engineering. And while not all shows offer a perfectly accurate representation of technical English when used in engineering roles, it will provide you with some entertainment while strengthening your ability to keep up with conversations, pick up on cultural signals or clues, and master technical terms along the way. Tip number 5, leverage resources to solidify your skills. So while I'd love to personally help everybody who wants to strengthen their technical English abilities, I know not everyone has space in their schedule to allow for one-on-one coaching or learning programs. And as much as I'd love to, there aren't enough hours in a day to be able to support the thousands of people worldwide who want to master technical English each day. That being said, I've put together a couple of ways to help you on your journey towards being a technical English pro. So for those who aren't looking for a one-on-one coaching program, I'm delivering a regular newsletter directly to your email inbox that is packed with tips to help you succeed. There are tons of blog posts covering a wide range of topics on my website, and of course there's this podcast. I'm going to put links to all my free resources into the podcast description. Feel free to download or subscribe to whatever fits your personal needs regarding technical and business English. That was it. This was today's episode of English for Engineers. I hope you found these tips helpful and informative. Don't forget to check out previous episodes and stay tuned for the next episode, which will air Monday in 3 weeks. Until then, keep practicing and improving your English skills. I'm your host, Olivia Augustin. Talk to you soon.